Hey everyone, your friendly neighborhood Pants is back with another Summoners War video. Today I want to look at the second awakened Jubelle and how I plan to use him and rune him and all that. First off, he looks freaking incredible. Like, props to the art team. Y'all did fantastic with him. I think Revenge is really good for his kit because of the skill 1 defense break, so I have him on double Revenge Endure. For my particular use, I'm trying to bring him into Kinki and 4-star siege towers. And in my testing, I found that I really want his defense break to land. So I got him to 60% accuracy plus 19 from the artifacts. So that's 79. So that's pretty close to max for that skill 1 defense break. I had to sacrifice some stats to get to double revenge. I had him on Endure Focus originally. And it was still working out well, but I really wanted the revenge. So I sacrificed 6 resistance. But I actually gained quite a bit of accuracy, lost some HP, and lost a little defense. Also lost speed. His breakpoints are the same as Triana, same base speed as Triana, so plus 109 gets him to 239 without any speed buffs. So I'm a little short in that area, but I can't get any more speed on him. I mean, that rune is kind of weak, so hopefully I can pull a better slot 4 for him. The other ones are, I mean, this one's kind of weak too, so maybe I'll get some upgrades for him in the future, but currently, his build is pretty solid, and at least for how I've been using him, I haven't lost with this team yet against this particular defense, and so that is what I want to showcase. Alright, so if you aren't familiar with his kit just yet, he's going to increase his attack bar by 30% each time he gets hit with a non-critical hit, so that tells me anytime it's a glancing or a crushing or a normal hit, boom, he gets 30% attack bar. And Kinki can't crit, so that's every time he uses his skill 1 targeting him, he hits twice, giving him 60% attack bar. And additionally, his skill 2 will just always be ready, so if you really need a provoke, that skill will always be available for you. But really, the skill 1 defense break is what I care about. Harmonia, Vigor, and Kinki, we saw this in the Siege Tournament and Global at least a little bit, and it did pretty well. This probably isn't the first team I would bring into it. I really like Kamoon, Alucia, and Lauren. These 3, this is just a really strong 4-star team, so recommend building that. I have my Aegir built as a kind of bruisery, speed crit damage HP, plus 120 speed gets him to the 239 breakpoint. Decent accuracy and crit rate on him. I do really think accuracy is just like super important here. If you don't land stuff, you're probably going to be in trouble. And, you know, these guys could be ruined relatively high resistance. That said, I've done a lot of testing and still haven't lost. Even with my previous double endure focus build I had on Jubelle, I have not lost at all. So that's, you know, that's promising. We'll see if we can provoke. We sure can. All right, let's throw up immunity. Now, to be fair, I'm testing against Rebel Alliance runes, not, you know, Siege Tournament high-ranking guild runes. So I don't have will on him, for example. So maybe the Kinki is ruined on Despair and is ruined at plus 171 to get him to 286 breakpoint or something insane like that. And he like just stuns me or something along those lines. So I think it is important to have will on Aegir, important to have will on Lulu. If he gets stunned, it's probably not the end of the world. But anyways, I think you want to kill Vigor first because that is the second defense breaker in the team. And, you know, having a second defense breaker, that's how the AI is going to get manipulated. So you don't want that to happen. You want Kinki to be hitting him. If Kinki starts hitting Aegir, Aegir is going to die, and that's bad news. You don't want that. Other than that, I don't see this... well, I say that. There is potential for Kinki solo. It's unlikely, but there's always that potential. I have an artifact on my Aegir on the left side that has a decent amount of damage dealt on light and damage reduction from light, because if I can do enough damage, then I won't get revenged. What could potentially happen, or what I could see happening, again, hasn't happened yet, but it could be that my Aegir decides to proc himself to death. Like, there I did enough damage that there is no revenge. Here I probably will. Yeah, and then here he's dead. But there could be an opportunity like that where Aegir takes 3 turns in a row, doesn't land his stuff, but Kinki is revenging, lands his defense break, and kills Aegir. And I think Kinki wins this 1v2, especially with the way my Jubelle is ruined, because he's not dealing very much damage. So that's the only way I could see this team losing, really, is if you just don't land anything. So I would strongly recommend getting high accuracy on everyone. But other than that, it seems pretty solid. I think this is test number 14. And I do have one other person in my guild that has a rune slightly differently. And like no matter what has happened so far, I keep winning, which I like that. I want to keep winning. I'm going to focus the Vigor still. So they had a bunch of early procs, and I will say I haven't hit a Despair Kinki. I've only hit Violent Kinki. We do have some Despair Kinkis, but not with this particular defense. I'm not sure if it's working, but nice. Nice there. You should there, but I just can't get it without the stats I want. You have to fine. Oh, that. You don't have to get no revenge. Pretty solid. I like that. Alright, well, like I said, bunch of different tries. It keeps working for me. I think the rune quality is fairly high for it. So here's a question people are probably going to ask, is the team that I used to second awaken it. I have no idea what the average time was for this team, but it did not fail a single time. So if safety is your main concern, this was really solid. I didn't choose anything as far as left, right, then boss or anything like that. I just went into it, hit auto, and it worked every single time. Farmed it all day at work, and got it done. Alrighty, so here's an Iunu Lulu Kinki. So we're going to kind of pseudo mirror it. My Iunu is at the 239 breakpoint, decent crit rate. Not great accuracy, but we have the accuracy lead. I'm also missing skill ups, which is unfortunate. We're ruining Violent because we have Lulu for our healing purposes. We don't need him to be on Vampire. Also at 239 breakpoint, I'm missing 2 resistance, unfortunately, but it is what it is. And then again, our Jubelle. And this one is a Despair Kinki, and they also have quite a bit of Destroy. And this one I think is a little scarier than the previous one, but still has been working really well for me. So we want to kill Iunu first because he has the Brand and the Oblivion, which we want none of that. So that's like best case scenario. So we're gonna just end the replay now and or end the battle now, and we'll try again. We want not best case scenario as far as showcasing the team, because you know you aren't going to have best case scenario whenever you do the real thing. So again, we got the revenge defense break. He derped and did skill 1. We don't like that. We don't like any of that. Let's see something realistic come to us, you know, like we'd see if we fought SSA or Mali. So here we don't have any stuns happening. He used skill 1 instead of skill 2, so we increased our attack bar by quite a bit, and so Jubelle's taking the turn. So we'll do the provoke there. Still derping. I think less solo potential in this case with Kinki. I don't know, it's comparable. In this case we have a Brand, so this is good. He finally procced out at the defense break. We like that. So we're just going to do skill 1, because Lulu's just going to heal him anyways. Alright, so this is more realistic. We like this. My least favorite things about doing these siege battle tests, it just seems like they derp so much, and you just have to keep hitting replay over and over. I'm 3-0 before hitting record, so that's pretty good. See, I think what could be scary is like this happens and then like a violent proc and then another violent proc, and I think a double violent proc has like a 5% chance of happening. So that was probably the scariest thing, is if he's defense broken and then do skill 2 and then skill 1. I was like, you know, over here in a health, so skill 1 might bring me down to here, and then another skill 1 would probably finish me off. But at any rate, it's unlikely enough that I think you can still consider it safe, as, you know, safe as siege can be. After this, you just kind of work on the Lulu. Hopefully can keep her provoked. Of course, Lulu's going to be high resistance, but again, ruin your Jubelle, high accuracy. With accuracy lead from Iunu, that's certainly manageable. And then, boom. I believe he increases the provoke turn as well. There I got stunned, which is unfortunate. We'll double check his kit. So if you attack the provoked enemy, Yeah, increases the effect by 1 turn up to 3 turns if you attack the provoked enemy. So if you just keep using skill 2, you can potentially just keep her provoked, which is really nice. But yeah, now we're in this 3v1 again, and there's, of course, always solo potential if Kinki is on Violent and goes crazy, or in this case on Despair and just keeps you stun locked. But other than that, most of the time you should be fine. You just land your Oblivion, and what's he going to do? So this is now, I mean, 4-0 in terms of full games. Those matches that I quit out of where the RNG was just already in my favor, those were probably wins anyways. Certainly the best case scenario is Iunu just goes and you get the revenge, land the defense break, your Iunu does skill 2 and has enough damage to just one shot. That's like best case scenario. Now, of course, if there's differences in rune quality, maybe your Iunu doesn't have enough damage to one-shot their Iunu, or you just fail to land the Oblivion, and he comes back, and now he has extra damage, and he Oblivion's your guy. So again, have Will on your Iunu, have Will on your Lulu and Iunu. The only person that doesn't need Will in this case is Jubelle. But offenses benefit from Will. Defenses, less so. Defenses want Destroy Nemesis, but it's seems like a pretty solid 2A as far as countering Kinki, so that's just another Kinki option. Go build Jubelle. If you have other uses for them, let me know in the comments. Just let me know how you plan to use them, or if you plan to use them at all. Y'all have a good one. Thanks for watching.